And we move on to LUFENIA number 2, 8's Lost Chapter, which I did not luck sack in the free pull, unfortunately, but that's okay. You don't really need 8 to take this out. I know there's a lot of 8 solos out there. People are really excited, and good for them. Because 8 is a monster now. He's way better than he used to be with that LD. He does a lot for him. But you don't need him to beat this. And you really don't even need counters to beat this. That's right. There's a couple things that you can exploit if you don't have any counter units. In case there's anyone out there who are just throwing the towel and going, you know what, I don't have counter units, I'm just going to skip this one. You don't have to. For starters, if you have the Noctis Burst, his follow-up attack with his burst effect resets the orb back to 10. I don't know why. For some reason, it's registering as a counter and resetting the orb. So that's one thing you could do. They're also susceptible to HP silence. That's why Kefka is here. So you'll see the orb will drop to 0 and nothing happens. That's all because of Kefka. So if you don't have counter units, bring Noctis or Kefka and you should be alright. This does look like it's on its way to being a 0 turns run, because I'm starting it as if it were one. It isn't, though. I don't think that 0 turns is possible for this stage. If someone could prove me wrong, I would love to see how you did it. But I don't think that that it can happen for this one. I think on stages that are... How do I word this? Stages where the orb condition relies on the enemy acting, I think kind of throws 0 turns out the window. Because this one, it's counters. So you kind of need the enemy to move for the orb to reset, unless you do what I'm doing here. But otherwise, yeah, what's the name of that buff? I'm forgetting it. Warp Step, Noctis' buff that gives everybody free turns. That's going to wear out before the enemies act. That's just how that functions. That buff is designed to give your team so much power that they can just keep looping back in front of the enemies for free, like Noctis does. But that means that you have to let that wear off in order for the enemies to attack, and that would result in a turn being taken. So I didn't really bother with this. I just went, you know what? I'm going to just do something that I know works. That could work for other people who don't have counter units. I did a counter run too. I'm going to upload that also. But yeah, this was a lot of fun to do. So I like busting out Kefka whenever I can. He's great fun to play. I do wonder if the 0 turns is possible for Kurisames. I have not looked it up. I tend to not look these up. I tend to just kind of try it first. And then if I'm having trouble, I'll see if anybody else on YouTube has done it. And if they haven't, that kind of leads me to believe, all right, maybe it's not possible, because it's not like there aren't people on the Japanese server who didn't try. So, you know, that's kind of my signal. However, I will say for Stragos, I didn't see any videos doing it, and I managed to figure it out with Garnet. I think Novus did the same thing, but I don't think anybody else on JP did that. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I didn't see it. So that's pretty cool. But Kurisames, it might be possible, because I'm pretty sure the orb condition there is just you have to hit it with Ice Element. So, potentially, I mean, you'd have to maybe remove some speed passes or stuff for Realm, but I think that if you... Because that orb is... The condition is hit it with Ice Element, like I said. So if you just run Realm with a Shiva summon alongside Noctis and Keiss, maybe it's possible. I don't know. We'll see when we get there. I haven't looked it up. I obviously haven't tried it yet because I can't. It doesn't exist yet. But we'll worry about that when the time comes. For now, let's just take out these like Cerberus type tiger, like white tigers. I don't know what the hell these things are. They're ugly as sin. But yeah, they're like horned tiger dog beasts. I don't know what they are. Loud cars, every video. I swear it was quiet a second ago. And then I start recording and then all the cars come out to play. Every time. I'm not restarting it. It's staying in there. We've gone too far. I'm not going back, is what it is. And yeah, if you're gonna run a strategy like this, be sure to not shrine right away. Definitely use that Light of Judgment first, because then if you have other people on your team who have any kind of debuff, if you Trine second, the HP Silence, which comes from Trine, will push off whatever other debuffs Kefka did from Light of Judgment, and then you can frame them all. So right now, they're stuck, they're locked into 3 turns of HP Silence. So even if they get turns, they can swing and do Brave, but they can't hit us. And when we get to the orb, you'll see that too. I don't remember if it happens before or after the summon, but we'll find out. Oh, this rate looks like after, because that one's already down to 5. And yeah, we're gonna keep taking advantage of this. So yeah, definitely after this, before the summon hits, to see the orb drop to 0, and nothing will happen. Arciela could probably do this too, but I imagine Kefka is more effective because he has a longer duration for the HP Silence than Arciela does. If you have his LD, that is. Otherwise, I think it's the same, 3 turns. And you would also run the risk of accidentally pushing that off with Arciela because it's not framed. And if they're at 0 count on the orb and you push off HP Silence, I think they just murder you. I don't think they waste any time. Because I've noticed how this orb works. It's like, yeah, okay, look, we're C65 stalling to get hero supports back. Cannot use HP attacks. That's right. And it's gonna keep telling us that. Because that's supposed to go off. It's at 0. They're malfunctioning. I do wonder if the fact that the Noctis follow-up attacks reset the orb, I don't know if that's intentional by the devs. I guess we'll find out. Maybe they'll fix it if it's meant to be fixed. Who knows? Because there's other characters that have follow-up attacks where it doesn't do that. Like, I tried it with Machina, and his follow-up attacks don't do that. The orb... I cannot talk. Wow. The orb keeps counting down even after Machina's spirals and follow-up attacks. I was also curious about Vivi with his Embers of Darkness, if that follow-up attack... Jesus Christ. If that follow-up attack would reset the orb, and it doesn't. So, seems to be Noctis is the only one that can without countering. Which is odd, as if he wasn't busted enough already. Let's just make him do something else nobody else can. So yeah, that's why we brought 2 of them. It's not like we're in danger without that, because Kefka's here keeping us safe anyways, but I was just sick of seeing unable to attack due to HP Silence after every single turn we take. So if my friend Noctis can just reset it real quick, we'll be fine. And now that I'm done speaking, more loud cards. Wow! It's like they know. It's more like it's my fault for living near a busy street and recording audio outside. You'd think I'd stop, but I won't. So we are at 2 turns. It gets to a point where I kind of just let go of trying to keep the turn count low. I mean, it still ended pretty low, but this was mainly just to show, like I said, I keep saying it over and over again. This was mainly just to show ways to get this done without the use of counter mechanics. Because I think there are some orbs out there that you can kind of just work around with stuff like this. Eventually, that's not going to be the case. I don't know when it starts, but these Luffy orbs do get to a point where they'll either cleanse all their debuffs, they'll dispel all of yours. Yeah, like these earlier ones you can kind of just manipulate, but the older ones it's like they make you play by the actual orb condition with no real way to get around it. Launch in, beautiful. It's something. Two turns left on the friend Noctis. Save the LD for the end. Drop this EX. Want to get that one on the right out of green health. The damage is not distributed. Words, why can't I speak today? Distributed. My God. Did you hear me? What? The damage is not Jesus Christ. Ah. A professional would edit that out. But here we are. Would it be out of line to say that this team makes this stage easy? Or would that be an accurate statement to make? Because judging by the video evidence I'm providing, I would say it's merely an accurate statement to make. As well as just my opinion. This team makes this easy. Yeah, I don't want to offend anyone, but this stage was easy. Okay, I'll stop. But to show that, you know, because I know the retort to that, well, of course it's easy, you brought cheese units. Well, yeah, we have cheese units to use. I mean, there's no, like, shame in that. It's like, why would the game give us all these really strong characters leading up to LUFENIA for us to not use those characters for LUFENIA? They were preparing us for the higher difficulty. And that's a siren. This video is a mess. We're not going back. Wow. Anyways, I don't even remember what I was talking about now. Oh yeah, using quote-unquote busted characters for LUFENIA stages. I guess it's not really quote-unquote. A lot of these characters are absolutely just busted. There's really no argument there against it. Like Noctis for sure, but he's the most busted character we have. 100%. Like, I don't think there's any contest. But yeah, why would the game give us him like not long before LUFENIA for us to not use him? I don't know. It seems weird to me. I don't think that people should be shamed for using good characters. I think that's a weird thing that this community does sometimes. Like, and to be offended, like, how dare you say it's easy when you are using really strong, overpowered characters, when I have those characters too, and I'm not going to use them, so it wasn't easy for me. Okay, well then, dude, you're just making it harder on yourself for no reason. Don't get mad at other people for that. It sounds like I'm talking to no one, but I think that people who are involved in this community well enough probably know what I'm talking about. It's no one person I'm addressing. It's a general attitude that I've observed from a certain section of the player base for this game. Sometimes there's just weird attitudes and like weird it's just like really weird takes that people have that I just don't really understand. But everyone's entitled to their own opinion, so you can say whatever you want. But that goes both ways, so can I. So they finally take a turn. They swing and they miss. These cars! What? Ah, why? I'm trying to talk. You hear there's a fire truck like. Jesus. It's gonna be okay. We're almost through this train wreck of a video. It's almost over. Yeah, recording the audio for this stage was a lot more difficult than the stage itself. The stage was easy. I'm just gonna keep... It's like a meme now around Dystopias to just say that stuff is easy because of... Come on! Come on! Jesus. What a mess. Might as well use this. Let's get to it. And people are honking the... Okay, that's not even a fire truck. That's just a dude with loud music and honking his horn. That's like he knows I'm making a video. Yeah, God. I had more I wanted to say, and all that was so distracting. Maybe I'll open up that topic some more in the next one. Yeah, like I said, I did this one, which is ways around the counter mechanic, and I did another one where we embrace the counter mechanic. Both strategies are equally as effective. Easy! Okay, cool, done. I've heard a lot of horror stories about Kurisame's. And there's other ones that I've heard even more stuff about, but I guess we'll see what happens when Kurisame's event shows up. But until then, there you go. A counterless 8 lost chapter. Thanks for watching.